Hi, and welcome to Not a Tech Show. Today we're going to be taking a 12-year-old BlackBerry 9650 and doing a little DIY project to hang it on our wall in a disassembled collage of its parts. So, with the recent news of BlackBerry completely discontinuing all support for its BlackBerry OS mobile devices, I thought it'd be a good time to put my old BlackBerry Bold to rest on my wall and to make a collage out of it. Now, I found a battery from another BlackBerry that I had because the battery in this was completely destroyed, and put it in and to see if I could get this to power on, which I did. Did take a long time, but it was able to power on and go through some of the phone to see if there was really anything that was on there still. And it looks like for the most part everything's working fine, but I don't think that it has anything of value on here because I had everything on my SD card at the time. But as far as I can tell, it is operating pretty well for being a 12-year-old phone, and I don't think I've powered this on in maybe 10 years. Let's see if we can open Facebook here. And yep, it's not going to let us do it because there's no support for it anymore. Also, I think the browser may work actually. Browser might pull up Google here. Oh, look, a little trackpad mouse. This is not touchscreen. This was pre-touchscreen for BlackBerry. It does load up the Google page, but I don't think it's going to really allow us to load anymore here. This is actually pretty nice to type on one-handed for a physical keyboard. And for the most part, it's actually working very well for not being on for so long, and it's almost like it never turned off. It's pretty snappy for a phone from 2010. If it was still being supported, it would likely function fairly well and be usable. But I kind of feel bad about taking it apart today, but I did want to put together this collage, and I think it's a great time to do it. And so I think what I'll do is I will power this off for one last time, get it cleaned up, and I will show you how to disassemble it, and we can do this little DIY project. Alright, so I've got it cleaned up pretty well. It was super bad. It's been sitting on my shelf for a long time. So for the most part, I think it's going to be good enough to start taking apart now. So what's nice is it has a removable battery, something you don't see a lot these days. So I'm going to take the battery out, and the rather enormous SIM card that I forgot these things had. It's huge. I might use that in the collage actually. And then it looks like we have some Torx screws here on the back. I don't know if this is going to be the first step, but I'm going to go through this adventure with you. And so let's start by taking these out. So I've got the Torx screws out of the back here. It already started to split open a little bit, so I think we're close. It's not quite wanting to come apart. I don't want to break it because I want to keep all the parts intact. But I do believe there is still 2 Torx screws left, and what we have to do is take the front logo plate off. It's up by the earphone here, and it should just come off with a little bit of clips, as you can see right here with a little pry tool, and then it's held on by some adhesive tape on the lower half. So you should be able to just pull it off and be able to pry it off with your pry tool, being careful not to break the plastic because it is a little delicate and old. And right here you can see, here's our 2 Torx screws that are remaining. So we'll get these out and we should be able to split this case apart. That's interesting. There is no electric connections between the 2 case halves here, which is not something I expected, but that's alright. That makes it easier. Now we can, from here, I think I'm just going to keep this one piece and use that as a piece on the collage. But next we can start to disconnect some of these electrical connections here. See, there's 2 battery straps. Just using a plastic pry tool. If we were putting this back together, I would always recommend using plastic for prying, just so you don't create an electrical short or damage any of the components. You can also see there's a little connector plug here as well, holding to the motherboard. And it looks like we have at least one more right here. Just move these out of the way, and we should be able to take this right off. Oh, and looks like we have 2 right underneath here. Whenever you're pulling these connectors off or these motherboards, you always want to be very careful not to pull too hard, because these little straps can tear like paper. So if you ever plan on putting it back together, you want to be very delicate. And there's our motherboard. Next, I'm going to separate the other outer bezel from this mid plate where everything connects to. Should just be a couple clips all around the edges, and it should pull off of the mid frame, and then our keyboard should be able to separate as well. Now we want to keep that intact because that's the main attraction of these devices, so I want to make sure that looks nice. Here's another clip here on the other side, and it should come apart. Okay, there's still more I want to take off of this mid-frame here for our collage. First being, I want to take this trackpad out. We already unplugged it from the other side. Oh, here's a little bezel piece here that we can use. But we already unplugged it from the other side here off of the motherboard, so it should be able to pull right through that little slot on the mid-frame. And we can use that here. And then next, what we can do is start to remove the screen. And from that, we want to start by moving these ground straps out of the way so we can get full access to the screen, because the only thing holding it on right now is a bunch of adhesive, and so we just want to make sure everything's out of the way, and then we can start gently prying up on the screen as to not to break the glass. That is not a very big screen by today's standards. Now we could go a little farther by taking off some of these other pieces here, but they're all soldered on, so I don't really want to break those soldering connections. So what I'll do is I'll keep this mid-frame as a main piece on the collage. And here's the pieces that we're left with. Not a whole lot, but once you put them together in a frame, I think it's going to look pretty cool. And it wouldn't be my channel if I didn't unbox some sort of DIY furniture or accessory. So what I'm going to do is I ordered a shadow box online, and we'll put this together. I was able to find this shadow box on Amazon.com for about $17.99, I believe. with it. It was on Prime as well, so no shipping was required, and I got it within a day. And it was supposed to be at least 2 inches deep. It looks like it's a little bigger than I expected on how deep the shadow box is, but that's alright. I think this will work just fine. And it also came with some hardware that we can mount to the wall. And before gluing anything down, I arranged all the pieces in a way that I want it to look, and it looks like we got the perfect size for this phone. You can use some quick drying epoxy, super glue, anything that's going to hold it in place. You don't need a whole lot of adhesive, just enough to keep it standing up. I think it looks pretty nice. Thank you for stopping by to Not a Tech Show. A little bit of tech in this video, but a little bit of DIY as well. But thanks again for watching, and feel free to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more.